Antonio Brown got his team kicked out of the league.
I mean, as an owner, what's important? Winning, sponsorships, and tickets.
Former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown currently owns the Albany Empire, which is an arena football team in the National Arena League. Now, I've done a few videos about how poorly his ownership endeavor has been going from literally day one. Minute one. And just today, after missing a deadline, the league has kicked the Albany Empire team out of the league. So Brown himself technically hasn't been punished. Just every single person who has poured their heart and soul into playing in the National Arena League for the Empire. Now, this happened less than 24 hours after Brown spoke shirtless about how honorable he was.
A lot of naysayers around here, I've been seeing a lot of players chip chat about me. You think I care what an NAL players say about me? I'm giving these guys jobs. I'm giving people careers. I'm giving people the opportunity to live out their dreams.
Kind of hard for them to live out their dreams when you get their team kicked out of the league, AB. Let's dive in. That's good. Sports. Buff Bundle? Buff Grundle? No, Buff Bundle. Today's episode is sponsored by manscaped.com/goodsports and their Buff Bundle. Now, maybe you're one of those men who have hairless bodies, or you've already purchased Manscaped's Lawnmower 4.0 and their new beard trimmer for all of your body hair grooming needs. Well, I highly recommend checking out the Buff Bundle to cleanse your smooth body, which includes 2 bottles of their powerful body wash and the body buffer. Ditch your disgusting loofah or washcloth, which harbor bacteria and famunda cheese, and get the antibacterial silicone scrubber to nourish, clean, and exfoliate your skin and body. Manscaped's body wash is all I have used for the last couple years now, and my wife Jess loves it so much that she's constantly snaking mine and leaving it at the tub, which is why I now always have at least 2 bottles of each. Guess what? 2 bottles come with. So use my link, manscaped.com/goodsports below for 20% off and free shipping with your cruelty-free, dye-free body wash and buffer. First, like my friend Dave Damashek, I 100% agree that NFL owners should start holding press conferences shirtless. Give me shirtless Mark Davis, Shad Khan, Jerry Jones, Arthur Blank, and Rob Walton out on the mic, nipples first, telling us about the mundane intricacies of the collective bargaining agreement.
Yes, and that's why we're moving the start of the league date back 1 week. This will result in a 0.02 revenue boost in share between both owners and players for the foreseeable future.
Dave's point, though, illustrates just how not qualified Antonio Brown is to be running a football team. In the first 20 seconds of that clip, he's talking about moving the team to the AFL. Is that league looking for another owner who can't pay their fucking bills on time?
Don't let the minutia of people distract us. This is the last year in the NAL. Next year we going to the AFL. A lot of owners around here got this type of money to even be in this league, so let's get that clear.
I don't know how many people that are employed by the Albany Empire, but it's got to be between 50 and 100 people who probably rely on that franchise to make a living. Knowing how badly Brown is messing up their livelihood is just sad. It's also sad that he was ever allowed to purchase the team. At some point, we have to start saying no to people who have a lot of money. Just because you have more money than mental stability doesn't mean you should be allowed to do whatever the fuck you want. AB deserves 95% of the blame here, okay? But whoever allowed his purchase of the team to even start deserves the other 5%. Now, the most tragic part of the Albany Empire getting kicked out of the league, these kids no longer having the honor of being on the bongo cam. You know who else was never on the bongo cam? Yeah, Antonio Brown, but more importantly, Ted Kaczynski. Rotten hell, Ted. But also maybe the bongo cam could have changed his future.
I tell you what though, Nick, you're so tiny. I guaranteed could curl you with one arm.
Yeah,
and that's
sure.
not a
Okay.
that's no lie.
Now here's the abbreviated timeline for AB's purchase and ultimate destruction of the Albany Empire. AB acquires the team, or part of the team. How much of the team he owned wasn't really even clear until he eventually bought most of the team in what was painted as a hostile takeover. The championship coach is fired by Antonio Brown. The coach who took his place quits. Antonio Brown suspends players and bans them from the team hotel they're staying at, one of which was the quarterback. Players and coaches complain about not getting paid. AB gets kicked out of his own field by security. Brown promises to suit up and play in a game. Fans show up to watch him, and then he doesn't play. Brown offers Cam Newton $150,000 to play in a single game, then asks us to reach out to Cam on social media to make it happen. The Albany hotel AB's been living in kicks him out.
Just got kicked out the Holiday Inn Marriott. They said I was trespassing.
I'm pretty sure the Holiday Inn Marriott isn't a thing. That's like saying the Tampa Bay Raiders. Kinda similar, but also not at all the same. But Antonio Brown not really knowing where he lives does not surprise me. Regardless, that just happened like 2 weeks ago. Essentially, this quote from Damon Ware, who won the back-to-back titles as head coach for the Albany Empire, sums it up eloquently. "We built a wonderful organization over 3 years. He came in and killed it." And the exclamation point to that statement was watching the team AB killed be on the wrong end of a 68-24 ass kicking last week. They're also dead last in the league in the standings, even worse than the lowly West Texas Warbirds, who are essentially the Texans of the NAL. Oh my God. Why is the state that takes football the most seriously the worst at it professionally? I don't know. Why did the Empire get kicked out of the league though? And why was it all Antonio Brown's fault? Well, according to this assault to the amount of Twitter characters you should be allowed to use, Dov Kleeman posted a full recap of what happened. Now this novel essentially says every team in the league has to make a payment every month towards the league's operating budget. Guess who ain't paying? Mr. Small Chest Business is certainly not Boomin' Brown. On the 15th of every month, the team has to pay their dues. And Brown, in 3 months, has only made one payment, which was also the very first payment back in April. And for some weird reason, Brown challenged that payment and had it credited back to his account.
I didn't come here to make money.
So after missing a payment in May and getting his April payment negated, the league held an emergency meeting and decided to give Brown until June 15th to make all of the past due payments, which also included a fine that the league imposed on Brown for conduct detrimental to the league. And I think that officially makes Brown the most detrimental player to the most leagues ever.
I'm giving these guys jobs.
Well, the noon deadline for that passed today. Brown did not make any of Albany's payments, shocker, and made it clear he had no intention to do so, nor pay his fine. So the league had no choice but to kick the team out. Because I'm assuming removing Brown as an owner is not an option or near impossible, because why couldn't they just do that and keep the team in the league? It's probably an answer, but I didn't bother to find it.
I am a lobbyist. I'm the guy who take the mission and make dreams fulfilled come true. So I don't want people to lose sight about who I am, what I'm doing, and what's my purpose.
Now call me crazy, but I think possibly the easiest part of owning a team is just paying your dues to the league. That's like becoming a chef and then deciding, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna use any knives when making any of my food anymore. Anyway, remember, AB's dad, Touchdown Eddie Brown, played for the Empire back in the day and was literally voted as the best player in league history.
So I want to be a leader. I want to be details about my action, what I stand for, what I represent here. I want to be clear about the minutia of what we're doing and how we're doing things. So I want to share the people in the media who write negative about Antonio Brown and who lose sight of what the truth is here in Albany. I didn't come here to, I didn't come here to make money. I came here to represent something that I grew up in as a little kid and give back to the community that helped shape me to be who I am today.
Brown bought this team to impress his dad and made him a part owner as well. Approval and attention I think he's been seeking since being a child. His dad, by the way, wasn't around for Antonio when he was a teen, which is why AB was essentially homeless for 6 months as a senior in high school. And instead of impressing his father, AB got his dad's former team kicked out of the league. Now, I'm not trying to get too deep here, but with Father's Day coming up, it seemed appropriate. Like, if you have a kid, just be there for them, or, you know, they could turn out like Antonio Brown. And even in this moment, Eddie Brown doesn't know how to be a good dad and help his son. Instead, he's quietly staying in the shadows while he watches his kids self-destruct and ruin the thing he loved probably more than his son, his football team. And don't forget, Friday, June 23rd, Tom Grossi and I are holding a fan event at Breckenridge Brewery here in Littleton, Colorado. So come, hang out with us, help Tom raise money for St. Jude's Hospital. We will both be there, and this better be the best damn fan event he has, so show up. A great way to support this channel is by supporting my coffee company, BenchwarmerBrew.com. Today, we launched my first tea, Chai Tea Higgins. So, if you like tea, this is the best. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. Okay.